Hello, Kethro here. The reason why I chose the image that lies behind me and chose to hold the object that I'm holding in Waddy White's image is to kind of signify a few things. First of all, the drum machine. The drum machine to me represents a very important piece of human musical history. When it comes down to uh, modern rhythms and modern sounds, they all seem to be shaped by advances in technology that humans have been working on since, for the past 100 years since recorded music began. And to me, it signifies a true power of what a machine can do when human puts pure emotion inside of it and churns out this language that the entire world can understand. That machine in particular is called an Akai MPC 1000. The MPC stands for Music Production Center, and it's just another tool in that a lot of producers and musicians use to help shape their sound, especially in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. It's the machine that I started out learning how to make music on, and it was the machine that I could truly feel like this is my instrument. A lot of musicians grow up and they have their particular instrument that they gravitate towards. Mine just so happened to be the sequencer or the drum machine, which when it came out wasn't intended to be its own instrument. But the way that people have used it and the way they shape sounds, it's just something that it kind of became an instrument of its own. Kind of like how DJs manipulated turntables and created turntablism, which is the form of scratching or the art of manipulation of vinyl records. And the image behind me is actually an electronic schematic of a synthesizer called the Moog Model D. The Moog Model D was invented by Bob Moog, and that particular synthesizer is very, very important to music and very important to the culture overall. In terms of musical expression, in terms of its technological advance on turning electricity into this sound, it really changed the landscape of what we hear today. Um, you know, we live now in an age where electronic music is very, very important to the core foundation of a lot of cultures around the world. And the Moog in particular was the foundation of help bringing that to life. The Moog is a very important part and piece to me, and it's something that I professionally use every day, and a lot of other musicians do too. I feel like that will be the instrument that will be known over time as something that is timeless, just like the electric guitar. They both have proven their worth, and they both will stand the test of time. These two things in combination hold right to the image I'm trying to portray as a black man who is an engineer here in Nebraska. I wanted to show the youth, especially, that anybody, no matter where you come from, what you look like, who you are, can express their emotion in using these machines to able to churn out something that can show the world how you truly feel about whatever you want and create any story you like. And that's what makes music so unique, and that's what makes that language so unique, is that anybody's willing to listen. And I wanted to showcase, especially to the youth, that anybody can do this. It's not something that's for one type of person. Everybody has the ability to be creative. Everybody, even if you're a more technical thinker like myself, you can still use it to be creative. There's now a tool for everything in music. And those particular tools, I know, being the original tools that help redefine American music, especially I think will go on to prove their worthiness. And you can do it anywhere now. And these machines are portable. These machines are able to be taken anywhere around the world. They're meant for you and anybody else who's willing to experiment with them. And I wanted to represent that. I wanted to finally walk in the streets in Nebraska and see somebody that looks like me that is doing that. Because in my eyes, growing up here, it's just rare. You don't see it. It's not represented on the billboards. It's not represented in restaurants. It's not represented in bars. It's not even represented in photos and venues. So I thank you, Waddy White, for allowing me to be that representation and to put me in the streets where I got my foundation and where I started as a musician here in Omaha.